Hi guys, in today's video I'm going to show you how you can edit photos inside your iPhone. Very easy, very simple guys. In this example over here we do have this image and now we're going to start editing the image. We're going to click on the upper right corner and hit the edit button. Now the first couple of options will be of course at the lower right corner. The first one will be the automatic adjustments. When you click this one, you essentially don't go after another functions. People who usually use the first one are not playing around with the other buttons. So if we simply want to edit very quickly in one click of a button and don't want to play around with the brightness, saturations, warmness and filters, simply you can click this button and move on. Now, for example, we are going to go back to the previous section, so we'll be able to find the difference between moving to the different options. If you look at the lower second menu over there, if we click individually on all of these, we will have the option to add additional filters on top of already one. So if you can see, this is the original, this is the vivid one. This is essentially something that the older version of Instagram filters used to have, like not so specific, not so sharp or extremely high quality lenses that are automatically applied on the top of the original picture. As you can see, we can keep up the vivid one because looks very interesting, more realistic. Next to the filters, there is an option for us to actually crop the image simply by dragging from the sides towards the center. From each part of the image you can drag it. There is no particular requirements. You can do it and then you can simply go back up because now you have an option to actually center the image. If you took the image in the wrong side, for example it's crooked like this, all you gotta do is to use the slider on left and right, so you will see and you will match on the 0 degrees. The next one to actually will allow you to adjust it vertically. For example, if you took the image on angle, right underneath or above, you might want to adjust the image simply by facing it straight towards you on 90 degrees. Then the next function is the same thing but on the horizontal side. For example, you took a picture on the side and doesn't look even, looks crooked, looks unreal. This is how you essentially adjust the sides as well. When we are done with this one, all we gotta do is to go to the next step over here on the upper menu. We are going to edit a particular exposure on the image, meaning that we can actually drag the brightness from inside of the center towards the outside, or we can do it from the outside towards the inside. So there is 2-3 options, and this is usually good if you take a picture during nighttime without flashlight. The next section over here is the brilliance. Well, this is more, I would say, creates a shadow, creates a focus object with brighter colors in the center and reduces the brightness or the details around the actual focus image. It's good. I think this is very helpful if you have like a small, very small details that you want to capture and you want to drag the attention towards. The next one is the highlights. This is the one that only applies to very particular parts of the image. As you can see, it will take you a lot of time for you to see the effects. In this particular example, it only works on the color of the car. It doesn't apply to any other part of the image. The next section is the shadows. This is where the focus really pops out. This is where you really have only one item to focus and everything else will simply be muted, because this is the goal of having a portrait image, as you may understand. The contrast is something that you already guys familiar with testing on different apps. Essentially, what is colorful will get more colorful and what is subtle will essentially disappear by simply blurring out. The next section is the brightness. This is where you could essentially boost some of the colors, and if there is certain elements that you want to highlight but they were kind of blurry, kind of muted, now is the time for you to pop out. If you look at the rims, for example, if we use the previous setting, now with the brightness we're gonna make the rims to pop out again. The next section is the saturations. This is very good if you are editing a picture for sunrise or sunset, simply because this will match and essentially bring one color of the palette towards another. So for example, if we have an yellow sunrise, if you boost the saturation, it will turn orange, as you can see over here. Very helpful. It's not good for faces, it's not good for profile pictures, for portraits, because your face, your skin will look bad. The next one is the vibrance. uh, Almost the same item, same functions. It boosts the color, it makes the color more variable, more alive. The warmth, it's what usually people utilize when there is picture of the forest during cold season, but if you utilize the warmness, it will look like a different season. It will look much warmer, it will look much sunnier. This is what people usually use when they edit pictures from, let's say, an autumn, and it looks like I would say late summer if you edit the function. There is also a couple of other functions over here which essentially create a different type of image. This is no longer the same image if you utilize some of these. For example, the tint function over here, if we use it, it is no longer our image. As you can see, this is more greenish on the left side. On the right side, all the way to the end, will be more purplish, right? This is no longer the same image. This is more of a, I would say, artistic projects only. The sharpness, it makes the objects and the edges of the elements very strong. As you can see, we had the contour around the car, and definitely reduces the quality. This is why I don't like it. But if you want to have this look of like a more comics character, this is something that probably you want to use. The next option is the definition. This is what actually increases the previous function. So the sharpness simply reduce the quality, but with the definition you can improve the quality at some point, just simply increasing the definition, making objects much more in detail and the picture more in depth. The next option is the noise reduction. So if we have elements, right, that we created with the sharpness, right, if there is some blurriness, if there is some small spots, concentration of lack of focus, this is where you're gonna clear this up. In our case, we do not have that, simply because we already utilize the sharpness. The last one is the vinaigrette. So this is I would say very nice if you have like a portrait face, straight up face picture, or if you're using like a passport type of pictures, because this will reduce the glare, and it will reduce the reflection if you have some around yourself. This is basically everything that you should know for editing pictures on the iPhone, guys. For more tips and tricks, subscribe and come back for more.